Okay. Right, this will be a funny one. I wonder how big we're going to make this, or if we're going to make it small. I think we're going to keep it at 100. This will be a really funny looking one. You got to say it's really funny. So wondering if we're going to leave it there. This is a really funny one. Going to make it contrasty. How big are we going? How bright are we going to make this? Going to leave it in the centre. Right, I wonder if we're going to lighten it up, or maybe we're just going to keep it there. I keep thinking. Right, what do we got? It's a funny one. It's really funny. It is. Oops, nearly lost control of it. It is an empty Mountain Dew bottle. You know, Mountain Dew is a funny little drink. It's actually, the actual colour of it is yellow. And I had a friend, my friend who died at an early age. She died, and she was really battling for her life, and she went through being sexually abused as a child and raped by her stepfather, and other people were also preying on her because she was so vulnerable. And basically she had a boyfriend that asked her a question. What does that remind you? What's that remind you of? And he was meant to say, he meant that the colour of the drink, Mountain Dew, resembled urine, and he was just being gross to my friend. And basically she stopped her from drinking it. She didn't want to drink Mountain Dew because it reminded her of what her boyfriend said, or her now. Well, they never got married. They broke up fairly quick. They stayed together for about 2 years, but he basically grossed her out about Mountain Dew, showing that it resembles urine, and that's what he was implying. So that was quite a funny little story about this drink. So I wonder if we're going to do another one, a different type. That doesn't look too bad. But yeah, it just makes me, it's just one of those things that's really quite amusing. And even though my poor friend suffered grievously from all this, she was a real fighter, she tried her best to live with this shit, with the legacy that he left her, the painful legacy, and people often treated her like shit. So basically, yeah, she had a lot of issues, but she was strong and tried to encourage me through my own crises. I had my own crisis to deal with, and she did a very good job tolerating my own crisis as well as her own. So she was a really lovely lady, and she died an early death. I think it was at the age of 32. She passed away, and she's happy now. I know she's in a happier place. That's what makes me feel so happy, that she's not here anymore to face the pain and suffering, that now she's in a happy place where she's singing and dancing, and she's no longer has to put up with horrible issues like obesity, which she had suffered largely as a result of the sexual abuse. And she had other things like epilepsy. She had an operation that fucked up her weight as well. So it's not her fault that she was overweight, and a lot of people were blaming the sexual abuse on her, which was just so wrong, because how can you blame a child or even an adult for being raped? How can you do that? I mean, that's just wrong. Why, even the people who went to her church, because she loved going to church, and basically she had heaps of friends there, and she basically, sometimes she'd find someone really mean and horrible who say something mean and horrible to her and blame her for the sexual abuse. But how can she do that? It's not her fucking fault. I mean, as if anyone chooses to be raped, or anyone chooses to be assaulted. I mean, unless of course their lives are under threat, unless the perpetrator threatens them, but it's still, they don't choose to have that. So if anyone wants to blame a sexual abuse victim like that, they should think first what it's going to do, because she had problems with self-harming and all that sort of shit. She really tried her best. I know she did. I know she tried fucking all. Not fuck all, as in fucking best. She tried her best as much as she could under the circumstances. So basically, yeah, and some people told her she had to go to court to deal with this perpetrator, but the thing is, this man caused her so much grief that seeing him in court would have been a huge trigger for her. I think that's the right term, trigger. So we're going to photocopy this. So basically it would have triggered her and made her go mad if she had to go on to court. So she couldn't go to court with a bitch. I call him a bitch, even though he's a male, because he is a bitch. And basically some people were telling her, you've got to go to court, you've got to go to court. But no, she can't tolerate. She'll self-harm. She might even kill herself. Or she might bleed from her self-harm. So she's had suicidal thoughts and shit like that. So she was in a very fragile state. And I really love to know that she's happy now. I'm really happy she's happy. And I know she's in a better place. What can I say? I'm so glad for her that she is. I miss her sometimes. I wish I could see her again sometimes. But, yeah, that doesn't look too nice colour-wise. I wish I could see her again, but I'm thinking maybe one day when I pass away, I might end up, how should I put it, seeing her again, and then seeing her forever and being happy like she is. That I too can be happy like she is. That she's in a happy place. I'm so glad she is. I just keep repeating myself, sorry, but I really do feel that it's good that she's happy now and she's not sad and miserable anymore. It's really good. But it's just taken a long time. And the funny thing was, she hated Christmas Day most of all, because that was when the abuse was ramped up. I mean, seriously, it was ramped up on Christmas Day, which was really gross and inappropriate. But this man was fucking gross and fucking inappropriate. There's no way he's a loser. And basically, used to get worse. He used to say this is a gift, basically, the sexual abuse. And basically, she ended up hating Christmas, even though she believed in the meaning of Christmas, about the little boy in the manger. She believed that stuff. And she wasn't criticising that. It had nothing to do with. It was him. He was the one that was causing the pain. It wasn't Christmas Day in itself. It was him. The memories of him. The memories. The horrid fucking memories that she had to fucking deal with because of that bitch. Honestly. Fuck. Now this is not looking as good as I was hoping, but basically it is a terrible thing to happen to a little child, an innocent little child. What can I do? You know, there's just so much shit going on in this world anyway. This is just, one of the many horrors that you find in this world. A world that's just so corrupt and so horrible. Mean and horrible to little children. So many horrible things. I've really I'm so fed up with a lot of this shit that goes on, and what happened to my friend was basically, that was pretty shit. That was really shit. Unfair, unkind. Fuck. Let's see what we're going to do. I don't think we darkened this enough. That's probably why it came out so fucking wishy-washy. So now we're just going to do this one up. But yeah, it's just horrible. What can I say? So we're going to make this look good. We're going all the way to the warm end of the spectrum. So wondering what we're doing here. But yeah, this Mountain Dew thing does remind me of her and some of the laughs we had together. when she was still on this planet. So I wonder if we're just going to copy this half of it and just going to enlarge it. So I'm wondering if that's what we're going to do. But basically, yeah, we had some good times together, laughing and going to Pizza Hut together and having, see, A5, A4. Where's the A4? That's there. Yeah, so we had good times at Pizza Hut sometimes. We used to go and have a really good scoff at Pizza Hut. You know, we used to scoff lots of really nice food, you know, at the Pizza Hut, all you can eat. This was in French's Forest, and it was really nice to just have a really a bit of time together and just having fun at the restaurant. I'm just trying to make this look good. So, but basically, yeah, we had a good time, but we still had problems, and she had problems. She used to get panic attacks and shit like that like you wouldn't believe. But that was... But I'll be happy to see her one day, and I will. I'll see her in paradise. I know I will. I know I will. I will see her. I will see her again, and I will be happy with her again in paradise, where she is, wherever that is. So how big we're going to make this? So we're going to keep it on that. Right. Let's see how we go with this. I'm thinking we're going to have to make it bigger because we've overlapped the borders, so we're going to have to add something to this. So we're going to make it 145. And this one will be 100. So vertical. I think the vertical 141. I think, yeah, we're just making the horizontal a bit bigger. But basically, yeah, it's hard life for her, but I'm just so glad she's in a happy place. Yeah. This is going to be a really prolongated demo. Trying to make this into something a little bit more interesting by zeroing in on a really nice part of the image. And there's that actually looks quite nice. That does. We've focused on that part. There's a little bit there and a little bit there. So now it's like an upright version. I don't think we're going to turn this into a mirror image, but you can see now it's got that colour, that yellow. That looks interesting. So I think now we can call this Mountain Dew Time Warp back in time demo quits.